Hey, what's up everyone? It is Guy Dips here, and this video is going to be simply talking about myself and telling you guys who I am and just a little bit about me. So, let's get into that. I already got my dip in. If you guys are more than welcome to throw a dip in and just kick back and relax and listen to me talk a little bit. If you really don't want to hear me talk, feel free to go and watch another video or do whatever you guys are going to do. But anyway, my name is Michael, and that is my real name and where I come from. I was born in Florida, and I lived in Florida for a while. Not really going to say location wise, but it's just a small town guy, just regular old Joe pretty much. And I did a lot of handyman work there, and so the time came down to it when I was born and whatnot. And as I got a little bit older, my dad got offered a job in Michigan. So we ended up moving to Michigan, and I was out in fucking buttfuck Egypt and somewhere in Michigan, off in the pines somewhere pretty much. And I lived there for a long time, and I had a lot of troubling issues there, and I ran into a lot of dead steady paths there and trying to figure out myself. And as time went on, going to school and shit, I went to a really bad school. I had lots of, bad influences there and stuff. There was lots of, drugs and whatnot floating around that area. And the kids in school, a lot of the parents were just, really bad parenting and whatnot. So a lot of the kids were on some other shit. And there's a couple times throughout Michigan that I had moved, but we ended up moving down to this area in Michigan, and this is when I was about 15 years old. As a little bit older, finally I got my life a little bit together, and the area of Michigan that I was in, it was pretty much just no different from the area I was in from the other part of Michigan, only I was a little bit older, so I knew a lot more stuff was. And some of the stuff that went on in my life forced me to drop out of school. I am still a dropout. I am still uneducated. But I do have a job, and I plan to further my education. I plan on going back to school and furthering my education and finishing out and getting my GED, my high school diploma, and then eventually going to college. But with all that being said, I came from a very, very rough crowd and rough areas, and growing up with a lot of people that I wasn't really proud of. My family was always dysfunctional, and I never really had, other than the usual, my mom, dad, brother, sister, and my grandma. Those were the only ones that I really affiliated with. Other than that, the rest of my family was dysfunctional. And sadly to say, the only time our actual family got together was when someone died or if something tragic happened. Not saying that someone dying isn't tragic, but it turned out for me to realize that, my family wasn't really who they were. And I was always an independent guy. My whole life and my whole background comes from independence. And honestly, I could tattoo it on my forehead and live by it. That's just who I am, and that's just what it turned out to be. And I guess the main message out of this, is I one of the main things that I want to do for other people is give them advice. I'm a very big advice giver. I'm a very caring and open person, and I want to pass down the message of, if you're ever going through a rough time in life and you ever feel like there's a standpoint in your life, just know that someone is there and someone will always be there. You'll eventually find that point in your life where you're like, damn, and then you're going to have a sit back moment. And most of the time, that normally happens when you're out on your own or you're doing your own thing and you have that age moment of what the fuck. Me, that happened for me at a very, very young age because I was always out on my own. I was always out doing my own thing, providing for other people. And growing up around that atmosphere, uh, is why I hate Grizzly Dip. Just apart from what I was saying, don't dip Grizzly, guys. It falls apart so fast. Alright, I had to pause the video and fix that. It was just going all over my mouth. And I normally dip Copenhagen, like I said in the first video. I'm a Copenhagen guy. I just didn't have the exact change, to get Copenhagen, so I had to stick with Grizzly. And Grizzly Met is the only Grizzly that's tolerable. But anyways, like I was saying, in life, there's so many factors that come together. And as a young adult, being as young as I am, I've learned that the bare necessities of life is, your family, and that's pretty much it, and not really having a lot of family and sticking with, like this much family. You have so much to learn from those few people, and then that's what I grew up off on. I grew up on, just living the bare necessities of life, And my dad was a very big educational guy. He dropped out of school himself. He wasn't a very, very, steady person in life. He came from a rough crowd himself, so he ended up having a talk with me one day about, just being a simple man, and living life to the fullest. And at one point in time, I really didn't understand what he was saying. So at the time, I thought, that just meant go get fucked up every day, because when he said, just have fun in life and just say fuck it sometimes, I didn't know what he meant until now. And when I fell into that bad crowd myself, I started drinking a lot and smoking, and it was just bad for me. And now that I'm on my own and, I live on my own, I do my own thing, so much has come from then to now. And it's so weird to think that how a little bit of life can change you. And I've always thought in life that if you just don't do what you want, you'll always fail. But sometimes you got to do what you don't want to do to succeed. And part of that comes from being a man and being an adult. And eventually you will learn that. And for the people who are already on the same page as me, props to you guys, people who pretty much live the same life that I did, and you guys are out on your own now or doing your own thing and you're successful now, congratulations, that's awesome, And it's just how you do yourself, If you don't make yourself happy, you just won't be happy. And it took me to move out on my own, do my own thing, live my own life to realize that this is the happiness that I needed. Now, I'm not saying that I wasn't happy with my family, because I was. I wasn't happy with the other people that I was with. And it really did. It fucked me up a lot to do what I did then and to do what I do now. And, that's pretty much it. That's the little bit of life about myself, and I'm not going to get too much in depth into it because there's just some stuff that I won't say. There's some stuff that I choose not to say. But that's the little bit about me. I hope you guys enjoyed the story. If you guys want to tell me your story, fucking drop a comment down and just, tell me a little bit about yourself, But this is Guy Dips, and I hope you guys enjoyed my little background story. If you didn't, that's fine. If you did, you did. Just drop a like, comment, and subscribe. And you guys have a wonderful day. And happy Memorial Weekend. I know it's not Memorial Weekend. I also like to give a big thanks out to our men and women who have served this country, fought. And sorry for the loss of anyone that has had a family member that's passed in, Army, Navy, whatever. I do support 100% anybody who is going in or us who already fought and served. Like I said, I want to give a big thanks to you guys, and I hope you all have a safe and wonderful weekend. Guy Dips here. Hit that like button and subscribe. And please, if you guys have any input about any videos that I make, anything that I could change, just tell me. I'd love to improve, because this is my first YouTube channel. This is my first time doing this, and I'd just like to have some advice or good starters. You guys have a wonderful day. Enjoy.